Today we are going to have introduction class on company accounts. Any company can start its business only after getting incorporated. What do you mean by incorporated? Incorporated means registered. Both are one and the same. No company can start its business unless it is incorporated or registered. What the company should do for getting this registered or incorporated? It has to file. File means submitting. Every company has to file two important documents that has to be filed or submitted at ROC. ROC means Register of Companies. Register of Companies. The two important documents has to be filed with the Register of Companies. What are the two important documents that has to be filed with ROC or that has to be submitted with ROC for getting permission? Getting incorporated is nothing but getting permission for starting the business. Who will give this permission for the companies to start their business? The Register of Companies will give permission. When the Register of Companies will give the permission to the companies to start this business? Only after submitting or after filing two important documents. What are the two important documents? Memorandum of Association and Articles of Association. MOA. Memorandum of Association and Articles of Association. Every company has to file these two important documents at ROC. ROC will monitor all the companies. The company can start its business only after getting permission from the Register of Companies. How the companies will get permission? Only after filing or submitting two important documents that are Memorandum of Association and Articles of Association. Now, how the ROC will give permission? ROC will give permission in the form of two certificates. The certificates are known as Certificate of Incorporation and Certificate of Commencement of Business and Certificate of Commencement of Business. Commencement of Business. Unless these two documents are obtained, no company can start its business. But in the case of private limited companies, only this document, this certificate is sufficient in the case of private limited companies. But in the case of public limited companies, it has to obtain both the certificates, Certificate of Incorporation and Certificate of Commencement of Business. Then only it can start its business. That means the private limited company will be incorporated only after getting this certificate. We can say that the private company is incorporated once it obtains this certificate from ROC. But the public company will be incorporated only after getting both the certificates from the ROC. When ROC will give these two certificates? After filing the two important documents, Memorandum of Association and Articles of Association. Every company can start its business only after the submission of, after filing of two important documents with ROC. Once the ROC is satisfied with the contents that are contained in the Memorandum of Association and Articles of Association, it will issue the certificates. Those certificates are these. The permission will be given by ROC to start the business to the companies in the form of these certificates. Only one certificate is sufficient for starting the business by private limited companies. But the public limited companies has to obtain both the certificates to get incorporated. Then only it can start its business. Right. This is regarding the incorporation. When the company can start a business is only after incorporation. Now we are going to discuss about capital. Capital means the amount invested in any business or in any organization is called as capital. Any organization requires capital for starting the business. We are having different forms of organization. Sole trader, partnership, joint stock companies, cooperative societies. These are the various forms of organizations we are having. But when compared to the other forms of organizations like sole trader, partnership, joint stock cooperative societies, when compared to these different forms of organizations, joint stock companies require a huge amount of capital, a large amount of capital is required for joint stock companies to start its business. Joint stock companies requires more amount of capital compared to sole trader, compared to partnership, compared to cooperative societies. It requires more amount of capital which cannot be contributed by the single person. So since joint stock company requires large amount of capital which cannot be contributed by a single person cannot invest the total requirement, capital requirement of joint stock companies. So what the company will do? The company will divide the total capital requirement into small parts. The total capital of the company, the total capital of the company is divided into small units. The units are also known as parts of small denomination. The denomination may be either in terms of 10 rupees, 100 rupees or 1000 rupees. Right? Each part is known as share. Each part is known as share. And the person who purchases the share, who applies the share is known as shareholder. The person who purchases the share is known as shareholder. The name itself is telling shareholder. The person who purchases the share is known as shareholder. And what is the value that is fixed for each share? The value of each share is known as face value. Value of each part or each share is known as face value. I will explain this with the help of an example now. Right? Let us assume that the total requirement of the company is 50 lakhs. I will explain this face value, everything with the help of a small example now. So that you will be very comfortable with the capital class, which is contained in the memorandum of association. Let us assume that the total capital requirement of the company is 50 lakhs. What the company will do is, the company will divide this 50 lakhs either like 5 lakh units or 50,000 units at the rate of 10 rupees or at the rate of 100 rupees. This 10 rupees, 100 rupees is known as face value. This 10 rupees, 100 rupees, these denominations are called as face value. It depends upon the company's convenience. The division is depending upon the company's convenience or company's requirement. It is the discretion of the company. Whatever the total requirement of the company, then the company can divide into small units. It can divide either 5 lakh units, each share value. These units is nothing but shares. 5 lakh shares of rupees 10 each. This value assigned for each share is known as face value. These are the denominations which generally coming across 10 rupees, 100 rupees or 1000 rupees. But most frequently coming across 10 rupees and 100 rupees only in real life situations. So these are called face value and each part is called share. Now, every company can issue only two types of shares. Equity shares and preference shares. Equity shares and preference shares. According to Companies Act, we are having only two types of shares. Equity shares and preference shares. What is the difference between equity share and preference share? The name itself is telling preference means what? Priority. first priority, first importance is given to preference shares. In what aspects preference shareholders are given top priority? Mainly they are given priority in the two cases. One is the payment of dividend, one is in the repayment of capital at the time of liquidation of the companies. So right now we are discussing that what? According to Companies Act, any company can issue only two types of shares. Equity shares and preference shares. Equity shares and preference shares. Preference shares are given more priority or more importance when compared to the equity shareholders. In what aspect they are given top priority? First one, in the payment of dividend. Payment of dividend. What do you mean by dividend? First of all, you should understand. Dividend is nothing but the distributed portion of the profit. Second one is repayment of capital. When the capital will be repaid to the shareholders at the time of liquidation, means at the time of closing down of the business, closing down of the company has to repay the amount to both equity shareholders and preference shareholders. First they will repay the amount to preference shareholders, whatever the amount left over that will be paid to the equity shareholders. Repayment of capital. So first dividend will be paid to the preference shareholders. Then they will be paid to the equity shareholders. In the similar way, repayment of capital also will be paid back to the first repaid to the preference shareholders, then only to equity shareholders. In these two aspects, preference shares will get the priority over equity shareholders. Now, what do you mean by dividend? Dividend is nothing but the distributed portion of the profits. The distributed portion of the profit, distributed part. Whatever the profit, the distributed profit, we can say. It is known as dividend. For example, the company is getting some 10,000 rupees profit. Let us assume that the company is getting 10,000 rupees profit. Out of this profit, let us assume that 7,000 profit has been distributed. This amount, 7,000 amount which has been distributed to the shareholder, that is called as dividends. Remaining 3,000 that has not been distributed is known as retained earnings. Retained means kept aside. Why this profit has not distributed means for meeting the future contingencies. This amount is kept aside. Right? So, preference shareholder will be given top priority in these two aspects. That is payment of dividend and repayment of capital. In the next section, we are going to discuss very important topic, that is the classification of capital. If you like my channels, please subscribe.